Hello, hello. Back from YCS Columbus. First time ever playing a Genesis main event. I mean, there's not many to speak of, so it is kind of like a weird statistic or thing to say. The event was weird. We decided to drive. That actually turned out to be not that bad, but what happened while we were there was kind of rough. We, my friend Javi missed his flight the Friday, so we had to drive to Cleveland. I think at like 9 p.m. from Columbus to get there to like 11:30 because it was like pouring rain, traffic, everything like that. We then get back the night before the event at like 2:30, get like maybe 4 hours of sleep, head to the event that day, come back to the parking garage right after that, and it's we find a hit and run on our car. So that was quite the journey, but I definitely wanted to just like stop playing most of the time too because I wanted to go like actually deal with my car or my girlfriend's car. I had more interest in how she's been doing in this game, not really myself. So that's why I chose to play Genesis because it's also an opportunity to play these cards. I really just want to play these cards. I like them a lot. I think their play style is super unique. Every single game results in like a kind of like a different experience just by being able to take like your opponent's cards. But without further ado, I made, I think it was 26th after day one, and then 27th at the end of the whole entire thing. So 11 rounds of Swiss, 7 rounds day one, 4 rounds day two. I lost round eight, so first round of day two, and I lost round 11, so the last round of day two. And then I think I lost round three, and I lost round five. So I lost to Pearly and I lost some Domain Monarchs. So Pearly, nothing really could be done there, but Domain Monarchs I probably could have played a little bit differently. It was unfortunate on the crackback. He did rip like Illusion Gate, so that kind of ended that. But without further ado, here's the prizing, the Card Trooper charge. My girlfriend loves playing Lightsworn and Edison, so these two cards are really funny to get. The charge especially because it's, random out of, I don't know, maybe how many cards, maybe like 10 or something like that. But functionally all my prizing just was handed right to her because I just had practically zero interest in. She was also dealing with like the cops and everything like that. So more than happy to kick that over. But without further ado, scoot that stuff out, move that here. The deck list I played, I kind of ripped off Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro on the Wednesday beforehand because we also kind of figured out maybe Tuesday that we were going. And I was like, oh crap, I need a deck list. Knowing what I know now, I definitely would change a lot of things, or not a lot of things, but some of the things in here, like rearrange the points, um, maybe add certain cards, take out certain cards, because my deck was designed, from what I gathered, to beat Red Dragon Archfiend and Tune. And I'll get into more like the strategy as it was going on, but without further ado, I think I've already said that once, but 3 Yveltal. Card's fantastic. There's so many like niche combos you can do with this just by sending it to graveyard. Off of like the Baphomet, heads up, I did play the Chimera cards. 3 Yidal, and then 3 Manicubal. This is the new guy from Blazing Dominion. In current, he's really bad. In Genesis, he's really not that bad. Like, I was actually impressed by how good this card was in Genesis because a lot of times I am just like say my hand is a little bit weaker, or I want to, or actually say my hand's a lot better. I can go Ivitel for Brius, and then Brius try and rip a card from my opponent's hand. And then if I miss, I at least have this guy as a backup to get into Jowza. So you don't really have like that issue of trying to go like Gygas or Brius and missing, and then not having a way to get to Jowza. Getting to Jowza is like so much easier now. And I definitely like had this card underrated. I was only gonna maybe play one, but having it at three, it just made the card so much better. You can make more than one fusion push per turn, almost like three if you're doing like the summoning effect of Jowza. But one Gygas, don't really need more than these. I did play 2 Godos, which is like kind of funny to me that I did only play two. Um, the card's actually not that good. It only ever stayed on the field once. And I was able to make Jowza right after it. But the fact that people typically answer this and you need an illusion to be able to tribute their monster and the illusion monster means like if this card doesn't stay, then the functional DD Crow doesn't really do much. And then against like Dark Lords, if you like try and like Godo something, then like you're just giving them a card for their Dark Lord Dance. If you try and do it against Monarchs, you're giving them tribute fodder. Sure, it's going to get banished, and sure, you can try and cut off an Edios play, but like still, it wasn't actually like that insanely powerful. Like it was good at 2, but I don't think I'd bump it to 3. That's it for the monsters for Hecahands. And then Tartaros, and 3 hidden, and then 1 of each of the counter traps. When I was siding going second, when I knew I'd be going second, I'd side out both of these, and at least 1 hidden, 1 Yadal, and probably 1 Mancable. Because without these cards being able to, well, at least Yadal and hidden, without like these being able to set these going second, there's no real point to actually like do the send. You can actually lead with this and get just the value right away instead of having to like make awkward plays because you want to get like the set trap and then like the search. So that was like kind of the side out logic, and then just siding down into only 2. It didn't feel as needed because it felt like with the 6 card we'll always be able to play. So that was at least logic on that. These cards are insane. These cards are so good. Not really much to say about these. I never really took anything crazy. I took an evenly off that. That was kind of cool once, and then used it. I still lost that game though, sadly. But all in all, these cards were fantastic. I never really did the banish effect because I wasn't having a situation where I really needed to get a Gygas on field because of this guy, or like a Breeze or something like that. This guy just made it just so much easier to make the plays. So those are all the Hecahands. And then, like I said, I played Chimera. I don't really enjoy these cards. They are a means to an end. They are the normal summon Mirror Swordknight, summon Big Wing, search this, search that Chimera fusion, make Chimera the king of whatever Phantom Beast, and then this guy starts your Hecahands engine. So that was like the main reasoning why these cards were played. I do play like Guardian Chimera and cards like that, but all in all, I never really was a fan of these. It was always begrudging to even consider playing the deck with the Hecahands cards, but I don't think I would change any of these ratios moving forward. I think I will try and consider playing like one of this guy. He has 33 points, which like I could cut this card because it never really was that incredible to have. I understand it was like a blanket searcher, but I think I would rather have something more targeted like this, which guarantees me access to this, which in then turn guarantees me access to the Hecahand cards. So this is 20 points. It's a ton. The only niche scenarios I had with this being good is I'd put this on board and then steal one of their monsters, but not have like a Hecahands card on board. And they wouldn't realize I could distribute this and one of my opponent's monsters that was controlled by them, and then just go right into Jowza. So that was really nice. It caught a lot of people off guard just because I guess they didn't read that far into the card. But it's 20 points. I can't really justify it. I thought when I was building the deck, once again, late Wednesday and then finally finishing or finalizing on Friday, that this would be the card I'd search off Gazelle. But then it constantly got me into a situation where I'd have to discard. I didn't really want to discard my only Chimera Fusion if that was, like I said, the only one. So it was just like a super weak card in my hand a lot of times. It never really was there like in a blank hand where this is my only starter. So I don't know. It's just a one of. It's 20 points. It could probably be something like just way better. But rounding out with the non-engine, 2 Skull Meister because it's a fiend. That's practically it. It pairs well into Small World because like you could reveal a Skull Meister and then reveal a Fua and then go right into Mirror Swordknight. Same idea with Nib is you can reveal a Fua, reveal a Nib, and then get into the Mirror Swordknight because 600 defense, light. So these are the cards I was talking about where my deck was kind of made to deal with Cool Tune and RDA. Because a lot of the logic of the deck was functionally, I'll just try and go Nib on my opponent and then just go right into Dandalos and steal the Nib token. I found out, thankfully, before the tournament, that the token that I give my opponent off Nib is not technically a monster controlled by my opponent or was originally owned by my opponent. So I can attack directly with Dandalos with the token because the monster or the token that I give my opponent is technically mine originally. That also works in our favor too, because if they nib us, we contribute the token and illusion monster to go right into Jowza. So it's like a, you know, double-edged sword there. Like, unfortunately, I can't just steal the Nib token and just go right for game. But it is like, you know, one of those small caveats. But I mean, like, if I'm tributing like a massive like RDA board, the token's already massive. I'll take the token and then just probably punch over anything, and that's just game itself. This card not being a quick effect is super unfortunate, but it does apply a lot of the pressure to the field. I did summon it one time off of Berfomet, the fusion monster, as 3k defense, and also it's illusion monster, so it can't die. So it's a nice wall, but all in all, the card's goofy, and I did enjoy playing it. I did only play one, though. Never thought I was doing more. On to the extra, the Nib token that I can flex my opponent for. Never summoned it. I played 2 Berfomet, had to give one back. I summoned it once, it was okay. Summoned it once and it messed up an RDA player because I turned his Resonator monster into a level 1. So you couldn't make the I think level 7 synchro that like kills cards or whatever. Guardian Chimera, this guy's 33 points. I've honestly considered getting rid of it, but it is Guardian Chimera, so it is pretty strong. Chimera, like I said, I also played 2, but had to give one back. The hand rip's nice. It's I don't know. It's just a means to an end. I'm not crazy about the Chimera cards. They exist in my deck because I want to play Hecahands. That's the engine I'm obsessed with. That's the engine I like. That's the engine I want to play. And then Triple Jowza. I played Gordian Slicer in the side, so that's kind of the logic why we'd max out in case I need to get rid of one. I do really like the CR one. It looks very handsome. I didn't play with the Xeno, but this is an Asian English CR. It looks incredible. This is the rarity we should have got of it, but instead we only have it as a super. So, you know, admire it. Didn't play with it. Definitely did not play with it, if anyone else. I was summoning supers all day. Dandalos, and then this guy, the Vampire Sheridan. Never made it once. It's in there just to, like if I play against Exodia and I steal one of their Exodia pieces, I can just make this guy with the Exodia piece and just sit on it. So that's really cool. Notable things about the extra is Xeno got me game more often than it ever should have. It got me game against a Dark Lord player. I went, like, start of my turn, I had his Eggshell. I went Illusion Gate. He discards the Dark Lord that protects everything. I can't say his name. I'm so sorry. I then take that Dark Lord guy. I go to my graveyard because he popped on his turn. I activate Tartaros. He chains and kills the Eggshell. So then I can only summon Jowza, or I think I go Dandalos? No, I probably did just go Jowza. Because he knows I'm going for Xeno. I eventually get Tartaros into Xeno, and then go Battle Phase after stealing an Evening Star from his deck. He goes Evening Star effect, copy Dark Lord Dance, fusion summon the first Dark Lord, and he used Dark Lord Morningstar, nukes my board, Xeno effect, and Battle Phase. Non-targeting, take all my opponent's monsters. Go for game. Another time against RDA. He did Crimson Gaia to book all my monsters, swung in with his 6k Red Dragon Archfiend, effect nuke board, and damage step effective Xeno, take all my opponent's monsters. It was so goofy. I won more games than I should have. I won 2 games because of this guy. I wasn't making him on first turn as often just because it does require a lot. But, I mean, maybe I should have. I never really stole anything too crazy. I stole a Changing one time and stole this Patter. I made full board one time and then stole a Stardust Dragon. That was very funny because then I had the Solemn Judgment that I was siding in, and then double counter trap, and then there's Stardust. So they just looked at my board and was like, yeah, you got it. So that was really funny. Xeno's a super funny card. Don't underplay the tilting of having to shuffle your extra deck, because that really got a lot of people kind of like mentally tilted by it, but that was funny. Side deck, 3 Gamma Seal, the 3rd Skull Meister. This is also for like those Towers decks. I did play against Pearly. I fooed him game 1 and 3, and then I didn't see a Kaiju, so I just lost. I think that was really just a die roll matchup. He opened insane every single game. He even played really poorly game 3, but he had another quick play in hand, so he wasn't punished by it. But like he played super poorly game 3, and just he shouldn't have done as well as he did. I think he was a very poor player, but that's neither here nor there. Skullmeister, DD Crow, this is 1 point. I was sitting at 99. I said, fuck it. 2 Illusion Gate, 2 Gordian Slicer. I'll probably just cut this down by 1. Cut that down by 1 and play 2 Shared Ride. And then I forget what else I was thinking, but I mean, I understand D-Fissure does kind of fuck with me, but the logic here is that if I can just establish my board and then put up D-Fissure, I could play like a weak kind of Hecahands hand. That's kind of funny. And then just like put up like Jowza and double counter trap, then put up like D-Fissure. And then on the crackback, I just go like Jowza, add back one of the counter traps from my grave. Because he's an ignition effect that searches from Decker Grave. So the logic was there that I can maybe make my board, then activate D-Fissure and pass, and like they'll have to deal with the counter trap, D-Fissure, and like everything else being on like a 5-card hand. So it never really worked out like that. I never really saw it. A lot of my side cards, I really didn't see that often. I saw Illusion Gate twice. I saw Gordian Slicer twice. Everything else I never really saw. Except the one matchup, and I think round 9, where I fooed a guy who was playing Red Dragon Archfiend, and he just decided to go for it. I drew all 3 Gamma Seals. So like that was something. I also ripped a Dispatter from his extra deck, and it didn't really matter just because like I fooed and nibbed him, so the game was just already over. But we were just seeing how far we could get. But that is the side deck. My phone's currently recording right now, so sadly I can't pull up my tournament report. Because I just have it all on there. I think I went like the first 4 rounds losing every single die roll. Ironically, every round that I won the die roll, I lost the round. I don't know what to make of that. I won way more, obviously, losing the die roll than winning. So that was just super funny. Genesis is kind of weird to me. Actually, let me hold off on that one. Let me talk about some of the cards I would probably change. Cornfield Kotal, I'd probably take out the Judgment, the Crow, that's 8 points, the Nightmare Apprentice, and 1 nib, and just be on 2 nib, and just go down to 40 cards instead of 41. By the way, I played 41. And just do these 34 points for this 33 card and just find like a 1-point card. I'd probably try that moving forward. Also, I should have just been playing like these cards, but like I didn't have much time to really sit down with the deck and figure it out. So if I had this card against Monarch, it would have been just game over. I never really played against decks that this could probably be like abused, but it is just probably a card I should have. And then same idea with Invader of Darkness. That card just, shuts down the Radiant Typhoon matchup. I don't know how to get it on the board going second. I haven't really explored that, but those are the cards I'd probably play. Like I said, cut down. We'd probably cut, honestly, like I said, those, cut one of this, cut this down by 1, and cut that. Do the 3 cards I was talking about, do double Shared Ride. And that's my side deck moving forward. I underplayed Shared Ride. Shared Ride's fucking crazy. It's like getting max seed. That card is really hard to deal with because you just have to kill or break their board and like make a board yourself without searching, and that's super hard, super hard to do. But without further ado, 4th time saying that, my feelings on the tournament. And all honesty, I kind of hated playing the tournament. I really didn't enjoy it as much. It's like Genesis is kind of in a weird spot where you take your local warrior playing the F-rated tier 6 deck, and you put like a sweat behind it, and people can get kind of indignant when you don't really know what their cards do. And a lot of the people most of the people I played against, they were very nice people. They were very chill. But there were some that I was just like, I hate this experience. I wish I was doing everything else. And then I saw someone post on Zodiac talking about which one's harder, Genesis or like current. And I think Genesis is harder in all of the wrong ways because it requires a lot more deeper, way deeper understanding of the format. And there's not enough data out there to get a deep understanding of the format. And then also, I remember my opponent was playing Mermaid Atlanteans. And I swear to God, I thought he was going to go into Bahamut Shark like 4 separate times. The card's like 80 points. Like, I already seen him resolve Dragoons. He literally had Dragoons on the board when I was like, oh, fuck, here comes Bahamut Shark. Oh, fuck, here comes Bahamut Shark. Obviously, the card never touched down. That opponent was very funny, too, because game 2, he goes, like, right to battle phase after I pass, slams down anti-magic arrows, And I'm like, oh yeah, I can't respond to that, right? He's like, yeah, no, picks up the card, reads it, yeah, you can't respond. And it just goes to main phase 2 and concedes. It fucked my head up. I told him that after. I'm like, dude, you're living in my head right now. That messed my head up. That was funny, but all in all, I want to play Hecahands again, so I'll probably still continue, at least considering to play Genesys. I'm not trying to take the game too seriously. I've said that enough. It's ad nauseum at this point, but I just like these cards, man. They're so unique. It's such a different gameplay experience than something I'm used to, and I've been playing for quite some time now. So I recommend Genesis, but only in small doses, and I recommend maybe trying to just explore it more because I'm not sure what Konami wants of this. I think it's incredible what they're doing by incentivizing it, but if it's a situation where an opponent shows up Friday to an event being like, oh yeah, I guess I'll play in the Genesis tournament, they're like, oh, what are you gonna play? It's like, oh, I'll play Kilton. It's like, oh, what are you gonna play for the actual main event? For like current. Oh, I'll play Kilton. I don't like that. I don't like a person just like being able to show up with like one deck, play it in current, play it in Genesis. I rather there be some kind of disparity between the two formats and have the meta of one not be a pale reflection of the other. So that's my 2 cents on it. I still think it's incredible what Konami is doing right now. Absolute all praise. I remember so many times of showing up to events and, making top 32 and just walking away with a mat. Now I have things like the sleeves, the playmat, the day 2 prizing, and even the top 32 card that I can just like give out or like hand off and stuff like that. So yeah, 27th, I don't think that's that bad too for having no prior play testing or understanding of the format and just rocking up with the deck on Friday. Also, I had to borrow like all the chimera cards. I didn't have any of that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and maybe I'll upload again. Who the hell knows? If you made it this far, fucking hats off to you.